All praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Green Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim doing pushing his word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. Let me get into this real quick because I seen this. What really happens when civil war hits your streets, okay? Which is ultimately going to lead to martial law, okay? And them closing down, the troops coming out. We already see the troops coming out, show of force by Trump, where he brought out all these troops in, I think it was 19, however many states it was. But yeah, he brought the troops out in a show of force, you know what I mean? And, these 2/3 Jakes, they just don't get it. I even uploaded a short just now with this robot dog. What they got this robot dog, walking around patrolling. And Jake don't get it, man. Jake just don't see it. They don't understand it, okay? They're in La La Land, okay? Dancing to another song. But anyways, going back into this, let's get to the scriptures. Because the scriptures clearly tell us, man, okay? Let's go to Isaiah. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me get this too. Yep, Isaiah 65 and verse 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Okay? Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Okay, so in those days, it's not going to be nice. The elect are going to be tucked away. You 2/3 are going to be catching all hell. These streets are going to be, the scriptures even tell you to prove the man hideth himself, and the simple pass on are punished. You guys are not listening. These streets out here are going to be like, all out chaos, man. Race riots. You got those newly hired ICE members, right? Trump is saying, yeah, sign up, get hired. Who the fuck you think is filling those ballots, man? A whole bunch of those racist ass rednecks, as they would say. Your enemy, Esau Edom, man. But you 2/3 Jakes, man, you keep thinking life is a video game. And what I mean by that is, Jake always think that it's a game, okay? Simple and plain. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and many years shall ye be troubled. Ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay? All what you see right now, these old ways, because when those days hit, these old ways will come to pass, man. There'll be no more. Okay? It'll be done. It'll be finished. It'll be over. So they're going to be crying for the old ways. They're going to be crying for those, right now. They could go on fans only or whatever the fuck it's called. They could do all the little, tricking, getting their money, having fun in Babylon. But those days are coming to an end. Okay, the Lord has determined that. All right? Yup, let me get this real quick because coming down the pipe is Jacob's trouble. Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay? So we know Jacob's trouble is coming. These race riots and all these race wars about to bust loose. you just gonna see how these Edomites get down on you, man. Okay? What was that movie again? The guy goes, "What kind of American are you?" He goes, "I'm American." And he goes, "Yeah, but what kind of American are you?" You guys gonna see, man. Okay? My grandpappy was in the war. You know, I supported Trump. You fucking fools, man. This is the enemy. Okay? That's why Romans chapter 15 and verse 4 says what it says. These things were written aforetime for what? For our learning, man. Because history has a funny thing of repeating itself. Okay? 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be also always mindful of the scourges. Okay? Yeah, Jake catching hell, and they still don't turn from their wickedness. They think it's just something strange happened to them. Okay? This is the Lord. The Lord is telling you by his servants, the prophets, and showing you, look, these things are about to come down the pipe. And repent ye, O house of Israel. But what they're going to do? Don't worry, Esau will fix it. Trusting in the Syrian, trusting in Esau, Edom, trusting in Babylon, trusting in Egypt, right? Oh, don't worry, Esau will get it right. He'll fix it. Because that's what they look to him as their daddy, as their God. You know, war broke out. Oh, don't worry, so-called white man will fix it. Fix it for who? So when all these things are happening, you know, you're still going to be in the mindset of, you know, I could do best. I know what's right. And what's right is trusting Esau. That's the mindset that they're going to be in. Okay? This is why it tells us that knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. The fear of the Lord is our treasure. Okay? Roughly phrasing. Let's get into something else also too. 2nd Ezra chapter, what is that, 15? Oh, that. Yep. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princesses, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See, so when civil war broke out, this is going to be, you know, the reasoning. Esau says we got to bring in the troops again. See, these people are crazy. Look what they're doing. We got to get things on the order. Order out of chaos, man. Okay? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because why? You're going to have roadblocks, military roadblocks, locking off certain cities. Okay, like New York, if I'm not mistaken, that's surrounded by water. So all the bridges, you always see that in the movies. They blow up the bridges. Penguin, they did that. What's that movie? Keep Silent or something like that. They had some some creatures, okay? If you made noise, they would attack you, get at you, okay? But they blew up the bridges, all right? Slakia. So let me get back into this. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Remember, yeah, these people are going to go. Oh, let me get it. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. He shall destroy their houses with the sword. Modern day sword is what? The guns, right? And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, right? what they're going to be going through in those days. They're going to be rifling through houses. You always see it, man. It's like Mad Max, right? Like those movies where people are scavenging through, and then you had people that was hoarders, survivors, or how do you call it? Hoarding for survival, or whatever you call them, packers or whatever the fuck. You know, they're storing up goods and whatnot. People are gonna break into houses like that and take those things, man. Okay. Yo, let's go to 2nd Ezra. 16, verse. What was it? 31. Slakia. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 31. Even so, in those days there shall be 3 or 4 left, 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. What's the modern day sword again? That gun. Okay. So main point, people are gonna be broken into places, taking people's foods, taking people hostage, taking women, rifling their house. Well, guess what they're gonna do to the women? They're gonna rifle them too. Okay. In those days too, people gonna be selling out people. Remember what they did back in the day with the pork, right? With the pork in the time of Antiochus, and the bowing down to idols in the time of Daniel, right? Those things were there to prove your alliance to to their God and to the king. But what's gonna prove your alliance to Esau, Edom in this modern day time is taking that MOTB, okay? And if you don't take it, you're not gonna eat. So you're gonna have, as this scripture say, Matthew chapter 10 and 35, for I come not to set a man at variance against, for I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. Okay? A man's foes shall be they of his own household. Okay? In those days, you gotta imagine concentration camps set up and all this stuff. A lot of these people gonna be turned against their own family, man. You don't want to take the chip, this and that. Who cares? Sacrifice his ass, man. I gotta feed my babies. Okay? I don't care if you don't want to take the chip. Houses are gonna be divided against each other. Okay? When it comes to this MOTB. And on top of that, you're gonna have people selling. Remember in COVID, you had wives. This wife in Australia, or husband in Australia, called the cops or something like that and told them, they didn't get their the husband or wife, or whoever it was, didn't get their shot, and how they're against their anti, getting the shot and all this stuff. So that just shows you, the things to come in those times. Okay? That's why it says the love of many shall wax cold. Also, too, let's get this real quick, because we're seeing this on the low right now, but as in those days, it's going to be full on, man. Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? We're about to see these kingdoms kick off, man. And that civil war, you're going to see. They're going to be against each other, man. Esau going to battle against Esau because it happened back then. We don't want to let go of our slaves, man. We want to keep our slaves. Some were rebelling against emancipation, and some want to keep them in that same state. Okay? So they had disagreements. But you 2/3, you don't read, man. You're stupid. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay? And like I said, this happened before. Let's go to that real quick. 1 Maccabee. So if you read and the Spirit is with you, you get to understand these things. Romans 15 and verse 4. History repeats itself, man. 1 Maccabee chapter 1 and verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion, And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words, peace and safety, unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sorely, and destroyed it, and destroyed much people of Israel. So if you don't read, you don't have an understanding that this man's going to do this again. And all was deceit. He speak peaceful words, but all was deceit. Let's go here real quick. Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 5. When he speaketh fear, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, in his mind, whose hatred is covered by deceit. Speaking those peaceful words unto you. Like I said, when they get up on these news broadcasts and talk about Lil Jerome that got shot in the head, you know, they're actually happy that Lil Jerome got shot in the head, but it's covered by deceitful words. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to get these guys. Don't worry about that. We need to increase security in these neighborhoods. These people don't deserve this. They don't give a shit because they know from the small hats coming down their agenda. They don't care. So going back in this, when he speaketh fear, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred, and remember they hate us, is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation. Right? And you 2/3, you're going to find out the hard fucking way. Okay? Oh, just in that movie Fallout, the Israelite ran up to that Edomite, okay? Perceived, right? And he punched him in his face. Because I don't fucking know, you get out of here. You know, the hard R would have came out his mouth next. Nigga, I don't fucking know, you get out of here. You know? All honky-dory, when everything was, you know, looking all right, you know? But through adversity, you shall know a friend. And you 2/3 going to realize, like, through this adversity coming up, that you ain't got no friends with E. E's your fucking enemy. And these other nations, these Arabs selling you dirty fucking meat and shit, you know, fucking off your women, you know, giving them fucking dirty old food and EBTs and blunts to smoke. The very same blunts that you come over to the house and say, hey, baby, I've been working hard all day. Give me a draw off of that. And her dirty ass lips after sucking off that dirty ass Arab, eating that dirty ass pork, you know, thinking that she on one. There you come, kissing her all up in her mountain. You know what I'm saying? These people hate you. And you're going to see the hatred in that day. Remember the riot that happened in L.A.? Some people went to go help the Koreans and they shot at them. They told them, get away from here, nigger. We don't want you around here. So when this is what Jake needs to figure out. When shit hits the fan, these people collectively go to their people. They don't go to the next neighborhood. Fight the peace and fight the power. That's all a fantasy, bro. And you guys gonna fucking find out in those days, man. You know, you're gonna find out in those days, man. So with that, hey, all praises, all honor, all glory be unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim, doing and pushing this word in sincerity and truth worldwide, and a sincere shalom to the elect. I hope you're edified. Lord willing, to the next time. Abad Babam.